Lightsabers. To some, a symbol of hope in the darkness. To others, a fearsome object of which there is no defense. The lightsaber is the most iconic weapon in the Star Wars universe. Not only is it iconic, but it's unbelievably deadly. However, there were some very rare solid-state materials that were utterly impervious to the cutting power of a lightsaber and were used throughout history to combat both the Jedi and Sith orders. Beskar. Mandalorian iron, or Beskar as it's known in the Mando'a language, is the most well-known material within the lore and within the fandom that's capable of resisting the strikes of a lightsaber. Beskar was discovered thousands of years in the past by the ancient Mandalorian cultures who wiped out the native mythosaur race to take control of the planet Mandalore. As they mined their newfound world, they came across a completely unique ore that couldn't be found anywhere else in the entire galaxy besides Concord Dawn, one of the 2 satellite moons orbiting the planet. The ancient Mandalorians took the ore and refined the process in which it was forged, a process that became one of the race's ultimate secrets. Due to its rarity and importance to the Mandalorian people, Beskar was often diluted into alloys with other metals to be used in mass production. However, forged Beskar was virtually indestructible, and the Mandalorians used the fruit of their homeworld to build a civilization upon which war and conquest was its principle. With Beskar armour, weapons and war machines, the Mandalorians were one of the biggest threats to both the Jedi and the Sith as they waged war on an unsuspecting galaxy. Beskar is of course both canon and legends, however the history of canonical Beskar along with the Mandalorians is currently unknown. Cortosis. Cortosis was an ore found in the cores of multiple planets dotted around the galaxy. However, Cortosis ore was extremely difficult to mine. Unrefined Cortosis killed all organic material that came into its direct contact through a fatal energy charge. Additionally, its charged properties made it completely resistant to external energy, meaning it had to be hand-mined with primitive tools, causing severe side effects to those who found themselves in the mines, which would often result in death if exposure were prolonged. Once mined, Cortosis ore needed to go through a strict refining process to alleviate its risk, and because of this, Cortosis was highly sought after and very rare. Cortosis armaments, depending on their refinement process, could be completely impervious to lightsaber strikes, some versions even going as far as to reverse the energy charge of lightsabers and causing them to malfunction for a small period of time. Cortosis was most commonly used in armours and energy-based armaments, however the Cortosis weapons that were most common were made of other materials and then were weaved with refined Cortosis, such as vibroblades, which were seen often during the era of the Old Republic to combat the threat of the Sith. It was said that the Achani were the first peoples to truly refine Cortosis weave into other metals. Cortosis is currently both legends and canon. Uranium. Uranium was one of the heaviest and most dense metals in the entire Star Wars universe, used often in stationary fortresses for defensive purposes. It was also sometimes used in small doses to line starships. Uranium was most often used to block radiation and sometimes to block scanners, but its density made it relatively unreliable in large concentrations. However, when used in large concentrations, it was resistant to the strike of lightsabers. However, the material could be subject to heat disintegration of the plasma and would eventually melt. The best example of this would be the Uranium statue of Sistros in Palpatine's office, which concealed his crimson blade. Palpatine, just prior to the battle with Mace Windu, used the Force to ignite the blade from within the statue, which melted its way out after a brief period of time. Uranium is both legends and canon, and it was most recently canonized in Jedi Fallen Order. Song Steel. Song Steel was a unique silver metal that was rarely seen in the galaxy. The metal itself was extremely difficult to forge, and thus extremely rare to be found in a refined state. Because of its rarity, it was only ever found in expensive masterwork weapons, and one of Song Steel's unique traits was its almost impervious nature to the strike of a lightsaber blade. Song Steel was most often found upon random asteroids floating throughout space, and as such, intently locating deposits of the metal was near impossible, and its discovery was mostly random. Song steel is currently only in Star Wars Legends and has yet to be canonized. Ultrachrome. Ultrachrome was a superconductive silver metal used during Exar Kun's Great Sith War almost 4,000 years in the past. Little is known about the refinement process of ultrachrome, and as a metal it wasn't fully resistant to a lightsaber, but the conductive nature similar to Cortosis negated the plasma of the blade, and the energy of the lightsaber was dispersed around the metal, denying a clean slice through. But, like Uranium, it was easily meltable. However, ultrachrome disappeared as time progressed, and there were only a few instances of it being used beyond the Great Sith War. Ultrachrome is currently only seen in Legends. Frick. Frickite was an extremely expensive and thus rare ore that was initially discovered by the Arcanian race sometime before the Mandalorian Wars, near 4,000 years in the past. Frick was the refined metallic compound, and its ore could be mined on a variety of planets across the galaxy. Somewhat like Cortosis and more closely Beskar, Frick was almost completely indestructible and completely resistant to the blade of a lightsaber. Traces of Frick even survived the destruction of Alderaan, withstanding the blast of the Death Star. Again, like Beskar, its light weight allowed it to be forged into weapons and armour. However, by the time of Emperor Palpatine's Galactic Empire, Frick was very expensive and rarely used in warfare on any kind of mass scale. However, Frick was intended to be used in the construction of the Phase 3 Dark Trooper project. However, the project was cancelled just after the completion of the Phase 2 Dark Troopers due to the failures of its leader, Ron Mock. Frick was more commonly seen in Legends, however it is also in canon. Quantum crystalline armour. Finally, the most powerful material in the Star Wars universe was quantum crystalline armour. This material was not only impervious to a lightsaber blade, but it was also believed to be completely invulnerable. Quantum crystalline armour was developed in the Maw installation by the Galactic Empire, with its initial purpose to be a material that could survive a direct blast from a supernova. It was then moved on to a developmental stage for a super weapon known as the Sun Crusher, a small starfighter-sized craft. The Sun Crusher was capable of destroying entire star systems, and was encased in a layer of quantum crystalline. Not only could it withstand pressures that would destroy most solid-state materials, but it even brushed off a shot from the prototype Death Star frame in the Maw installation. Quantum crystalline armour, however, is currently only found in Legends and should probably stay that way. So there you have every single lightsaber-resistant material that's currently known in both Legends and canon Star Wars. This video was suggested by my community member SJ, so a big thanks to him, and if you're interested in requesting a specific video yourself, consider taking a look at Patreon for some cool rewards. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons for more, and come and follow me on social media, join the Discord, and I will see you guys in the next video. But until then, may the Force be with you. Always.